8, and this is going to introduce to our topic for today, which is given
Instructions.
So first, a little bit of context. These instructions belong to intermediate level of English students. So first, let's look at the instructions. Look at them for a second, inspect them, see what you can find there. Do you think that these instructions are clear and appropriate for the student's level?
No.
No, right? Do you think the problem with these instructions is they're too fast-paced, they're too quickly spoken, confusing, or both?
Both.
Right.
Now, with the person next to you, you will have 3 minutes to discuss these 2 questions. Dana, could you help me reading the first one?
What do you think is or are the problems with these instructions?
Right. And Catalina, could you help me reading the second one?
Yes. What things can make an instruction confusing?
Yeah. How many minutes do you have to discuss?
3 minutes.
Thank you. So you're gonna start. Go ahead.
Um,
I think the problem is that students don't know what they are expected to do.
Estoy en vivo. Estoy en vivo.
I think that one of the problems is that the students don't know what they are expected to do, like what
Yes.
the teacher asks.
What do
will
you have?
do?
Yes.
Like, what if
The purpose is not stated in the.
and I think that there is no support in terms of the language that they need to use. Like they don't even know what they have to do. Like I'm a waiter.
And I'm a customer.
What do I have to do?
What do you think is
One thing can make an instruction confusing. I think that one could be like there is no an explicit purpose
Uh-huh.
of the activity.
And I think there is too much information in the instructions.
And there is no previous context
Yes.
of the scenario, what a waiter does and what a customer does.
Exactly. So if they ask you, okay, Gary, you need to answer. Ahora sí.
Okay, students. Who would like to share what you have discussed? Okay, yes?
What we discussed is that some of the problems that this instruction has is that it's too much information in there without having comprehension check questions in the middle, and also the final question that is to clarify or to check comprehension is to grow.
I agree with you. I think that giving instructions that way doesn't you don't allow students to process the information that you just give them, and they simply don't understand what they have to do. Like lose time in the time. Anyone else that would like to share?
I will say that there is no an explicit purpose of the activity, and that affects the way that a student perform the activity because they don't know what they have to do. So when you were like performing the instructions, you weren't unsure about what you have to do because what will you do? Like you don't know what a waiter does or a customer does. there is no like a clear purpose of the activity, and therefore the instructions are clear.
Okay, thank you both for sharing. Now we need to move on to the next activity. You have or are receiving right now a sticker with a certain item, right?
Yes.
Well, we need you to go and find the people that have the same animal as you.
So, listen, for instance, me and Valentina have figure of colors. So we have the same amount. So we have to find each other and form a team to do the next activity.
So please, go ahead and move and find the team. An elephant, a giraffe, flamingo, girl, ostrich.
Ostrich, the Soledad Castle. Elephant. So.
Everyone in the room, come on guys, let's hurry up.
What do you have?
Is everyone in the groups ready? Yes. So now that you have a clear idea of what a well-being instruction is, you will be given a set of instructions that has problems with it. Your goal is to identify and rewrite the instructions to make them clearer than they are. My classmate here will give you a piece of paper for you to complete the task. You will have 8 minutes to do so.
So, do you have to rewrite instructions on the board or on your paper? And how much time do you have? 8 minutes. Very good. But before you start, here are some useful expressions that you can use while in your groups. Can everyone help me read them?
This part is confusing. Maybe we could rephrase it as, I think these instructions are unclear because, how about changing this to, what if we rephrase it like this? I like that idea. Another option could be, I'm not sure about that. What if we try instead?
You may start now.
education. En realidad veas actually the code.
Maybe
Otherwise, tenemos
Okay, students, hands up. Do you need more time?
Yes.
1 or 2 minutes will be enough. 2 minutes?
Yes.
The verb
What's the rate for also use the yes, this one for specific part. Look at the menu. Explain waiter with the hand on.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Now, there is any volunteer to share what you wrote? I need one person to came to the front and act as your teacher, the teacher who brings the instruction.
Any volunteers or
No.
you'll have to pick someone?
For instance, if I'm from your group, I can volunteer and come here and write the instructions you wrote and read the instructions you wrote as I'm the teacher and give the instructions to your students. So any volunteers?
So I'm the teacher.
Everyone listen.
So, have you ever gone to a restaurant?
Yes.
Okay, so what will you do as a customer? Order food? Order food, right? Yeah, okay, so what does the waiter do? Brings the food, right? Okay, so for the following activity, you will get in pairs. Then you are going to imagine that you are in a restaurant. You already know what you are doing in a restaurant, so there should be no problem in that. Then one of the person in the pair will be the waiter, and the other one will be the customer. And using the menu, you will pretend you are working or eating at a restaurant, depending on what is your role. So, you should work alone or in pairs?
In pairs.
Okay, so when you get in pairs, you are going to raise your hand if you are the customer or you are the waiter. You have your pair?
Yes.
Customer, raise your hand. Okay. Waiters, raise your hand. Okay. So we're good to go.
Now, do you think that April's instruction were clear?
Yes.
Ya no queremos salir.
So, class, in today's lesson, we are going to do a role play activity. So, for this activity, I want you to get in pairs. Okay. Are the pairs ready?
Yes.
Nice. So, as I said, we are going to play a little game of role play. So, in this game, one of you is going to be the waiter and one of you is going to be the customer. Can you decide this, please? Pancho, are you going to be the customer or are you going to be the waiter?
I'm going to be a customer.
Nice. Isaac, are you going to be the customer or are you going to be the waiter?
I am going to be the waiter.
Nice. Is everyone ready with the role?
Yes.
Nice. So now that you are in pairs, I will give you a menu. A menu, I have it right here. For you to look at. The purpose of this is to create a dialogue representing the hypothetical situation of you being at a restaurant, right? So what are you going to do? Write a dialogue, right? It's going to be individual or in pairs?
In pairs.
In pairs. Right, nice. So, for this, you will have 10 minutes to complete the activity and present your dialogue to the class. You can improvise and you can read a little bit. You can do whatever you want, right? It's just for you to practice.
Is there any other volunteer? That's all right. Thank you both teams that were brave enough to come up with front. Here we have our version. Montserrat, could you please help me with the reading?
Okay, student A, you are all waiters. Student B, you are all customers. So, who are the waiters? The A's raise their hands. And who are the customers? The B's raise their hands. Great. All the waiters and all the customers read the name. Customers, think about what you are going to say. Waiters, think about what you will reply. Now, what will you do first? Read the menu or speak?
Thank you, Montserrat. Now we need to move on to the last activity, which is about questioning techniques.
Now, Kate is a teacher who is trying to explain her students the text down below. Isaac, can you help me reading the paragraph?
I want all the students who are letter A to stand over here, and all those who are letter B to stand over there. Then I want you to find a partner from the other group and talk to each other using the questionnaires and make notes on your partner's answer, and then go back into your original group and tell each other about the answers you got. And then you should order them from the most to the least interesting.
Of course, the students seem to have not understood completely what they need to do. How can we make sure that students understand the instruction?
Now, for tomorrow's session, we want you to work individually and write 3 follow-up questions that Kate should have made to make sure that her students understood or not the activity. This is homework, by the way.
We will discuss it all together in tomorrow's session.
This is for real.
So, how many follow-up questions you need to bring for tomorrow? 3.
Is the homework individual or in groups?
Individual.
Perfect.
Now, we want you to reflect on these 2 questions. What strategies could you identify during the spirit teaching? And how did these strategies help you to understand the instructions? So you'll have a few minutes to discuss.
In your same
Okay, students, time's up. Does anyone want to share what you have discussed?
Do you need more time?
Someone wanted to share?
Okay, so some of the strategies that we noticed that you use are the use of IRF questions. Because at the beginning when you ask the question and I answer, you didn't stop and just say, oh, that was good, that is incorrect, or whatever. You continue the conversation and add more information to it. Also, you use multiple times 4 choice questions in order to use to participate, even though it's like in just 1 word or 2 words. It's a way to for us to participate, right? And also, you make multiple checking or clarification questions during all the lesson.
And how do you think these strategies help you to understand the process?
In the case of the questions, I found that it's very important to have it there in the middle of all the information that you're having there, because if they are not there, you are going to be overstimulated and with too much information in your head, and we are not going to be able to decipher what we need to do in each step of the way. So having in the middle some question, or any question is going to help us going to the right path.
Thank you. So now let's discuss. In your same groups, I want you to discuss these questions. Alejandro, can you help me read the first one?
Yeah, sure. How do you think unclear instructions impact a student's performance, participation, and learning?
Thank you.
Stop.
And Gabriela, can you help me read the last one, please?
What are the most common mistakes teachers make when giving instructions in the classroom? How can we overcome this?
So you have a few minutes to discuss this in your groups.
These are the
Learning of learning of and also already confused, but also the teacher will try to record the questions in order to understand the questions, so they will take more time, I guess.
Okay, students, time's up. Who wants to share?
About the first question, we discussed that it has an impact sometimes on students' self-esteem. For instance, when they do not understand the instructions, they can feel like they're dumb. So for that reason, they don't participate and they don't learn things like that. And also, when they do not understand, they don't want to do the tasks because they feel like, oh, I don't understand what I do, and that's weird.
Yes, we sometimes don't realize the impact that our mistakes has in our students. So it's really important to practice these questions and
Now moving on to the paper time.
so my classmate here gave you a sheet of paper. So there's two types of feedback. The first is the one containing these answers. In this type of feedback, you will answer these questions. And
And the second one, you will have to mark on this rubric depending on the scale that you think that we achieve in certain points. For example, the first one I can set. Create an activity with a purpose relevant to the course aims. If you think that we achieved that, you mark number 3. If you think that we did well but not that much, number 2 or 1. Or if you think that we did very bad, you point at the 0 directly.
Students, while you still complete, please listen. While you still complete the feedback, we are going to talk about our learning experience with this spirit teacher. I'll go first. Well, this spirit teaching has been hard and exhausting, but at the same time useful and exciting because I haven't started my practicum just yet. So it's been a great starting point to get used to the idea of being the teacher and to have the brain functioning again to grade lessons and activities, because this one especially turned out to be very difficult for us because we encounter a lot of issues when deciding on which option was the best for each task. But overall, I really enjoyed it, especially because I got to do it with my friends, which made things a lot easier. And we had the opportunity to learn a lot about game instructions and questioning techniques that we can apply to our future students. Thank you.
Yes, well, as far as me, throughout this experience, I realized how hard it is to create instructions that are clear for students. It is really a hard task. It's not just to set up a few steps and calling it a day. It is actually a skill that you have to go through with a lot of practice. And this skill is obviously imperative for us as teachers today, since it is the difference in creating an effective classroom environment and communication. And I think this experience is a wake opportunity to practice and acquire that skill so we can practice it and implement it in our future teaching once we finish our teaching.
In my case, I have to admit that I underestimated at first this task because I said, of course, it's just giving instructions, but when we start writing the script, I could notice that there are many steps or many specific details that are important in order to create instructions, well-given instructions. So in my experience, I could notice all of that, and also I could understand how harmful can it be to not knowing how to give well-given instructions.
And we also hope that with this your teaching, you can also learn and apply some of the techniques to your practice. Thank you.
Could you show the homework?
Yes.
Can anyone send it to the... Yes.
I think that was in the skills book.
And what was the
To
instruction?
be task 1, if I'm not wrong. So if you could find it on the element 1, you can find like the whole instruction.
Thank you.
One where it says hate. So if we see that it talks about hate.